Good morning and welcome back to the Board of Wisdom. I'm pretty excited to walk you through the 4-hour scaling model, which is one of the easiest time management models that you could ever learn to scale your business in 4 to 5 hours a day, working 4 to 5 days a week if you want, and taking weekends off. Now, I'm going to walk you through everything, the Claude skills, the story, the biggest question that you need to answer if you want to go from 5 to 6 figures and 6 to 7 figures with great profit margins, the stages, the laws, the Claude skills. I already told you everything. So you don't have to pay me $20,000 to learn that stuff. Yalla, let's get the ball rolling. Let's have some fun. And first things first, let's start off with the usual. We have our coffee. We're ready. The energy is high. I've been listening to some good music. Yeah. So before the 4-hour scaling model, I really used to work hard. So this was my calendar. I was busy and broke, as people said. Now, I wasn't broke. I was making some money, to be very honest with you. But not even nearly enough what I wanted to make, or nearly close to what people in my industry or my competitors were making. And then, this is my calendar now. I went from having zero money in 2022, living on my mother's balcony because I was always making money, spending money, making money, spending money on the business, to 2026 having this is a $3.5 million client roster. And this is how my calendar looks like right now. Pretty empty, white space, peace of mind. Here I have meditation spots, reading time, end of day. I take weekends off, so things are pretty good. And it all started with a simple philosophy, which is we're all busy. Everyone is busy. Everyone has stuff to do. But yet you see some people who are also busy and they have stuff to do that are making 20 times what you're making. Why? See, if you're like me or most solopreneurs, you have 100 tasks per day. Too many things to do. Now, what happens when you have too many things to do is that it gets pretty complicated. And when things get complicated, you get overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you lose your ability to scale and you lose your peace of mind along the way. So you start hating your business, resenting the things that you have to do. I remember some days, man, I used to wake up, work for 2 hours, and then I had to nap because I didn't like what I was doing. I was pushing myself so much to do the basic things within my business that I had to nap to recover so I could do more. Crazy. That's the effects of overwhelm. That's why someone could get great results and the other person couldn't. Because if you're overwhelmed, if you're always tired, if you're always thinking, if you're always jumping from task to task, discipline and willpower will only go so far. If you have too many offers, if you're posting too much content, if you have too many sales attempts, if you have too many systems, if you're going to too many networking events, every single thing that you choose to add to your business is taken away from what we call the battery. So every day you wake up, you have 100% battery. And from the moment you wake up, every single decision that you make and every single decision that you take starts draining your battery. And we want to make sure that the 100% is going towards the highest leverage tasks. Now imagine every single day you're draining your battery on small things, on task switching, on small ideas, on should I be doing this or should I be doing that? On should I message this person or is it too soon to follow up with that person? Small decisions. What ends up happening? You drain your battery. You start to make, quote unquote, sorry to say that, if you get triggered, well, you're not part of my world, stupid mistakes and stupid decisions. So the number one question that you need to ask yourself and you need to answer is simple. What's worth spending your time and your focus on? This question, I'm going to tell you actually a pretty cool story. This is not my question. I didn't come up with it. I'm not some genius person. I just learned from people, tried them, it works, I share them with you. That's it, really. Nothing else. This was a conversation that I had with someone who I think right now he has $100 or $150 million companies. So pretty much he owns the holding of companies. So he has kind of a big company and it has multiple small companies under it. And the entire worth of those companies is, I think, $100 million. And he said, the only thing that's worth asking yourself every single day is what's worth your time and your focus. And then this is what he said. Everything in life comes at a cost, but some costs are more expensive than others. If someone doesn't really understand this, his biggest cost is the number one thing that he can't get back, which is his time. So if you don't understand where your focus and time should go every single day, every single hour, every single week, you're losing your biggest asset, which is your time. But that's not only the thing that you're losing. If you have goals for other people in your life, if you have goals for your family, if you have goals for your children, if you have goals for your parents, if you want to take care of any other person, they also have a limited amount of time. So if you can't figure out where you're spending your time on, not only are you losing your time, you're losing their time at the same time. So see how detrimental this is? So you're not the only person running out of time. They are also the people who are running out of time. And the way that he can run those companies at that level and at that scale is that each company of his requires one core decision every single day. And every single day he makes one core decision within those companies, and those companies would run and those companies would scale. Now I'm gonna walk you through of how this goes. But the number one question to ask yourself is, what's worth spending my time and my focus on? Now I'm gonna give you an example of what not to do, okay? This is an actual story that happened last week. Usually I don't pre-plan those videos. I just sit down on a Monday, map it out and record it. And I love pulling from stories that I experienced. Last week, I had a client who went to a networking event. He was exhausted and he sent me messages like, Arnold, I'm going to go to a networking event. I'm going to meet new people. And I told him no, but he wanted to go. Great, awesome. Next day, we had a call at 9 a.m. And he said this word for word, Arnold, I should have listened to you. I completely wasted my time. He met a couple of new people. Maybe he's going to make good deals at a couple of months later, at the end of the line. But he said, I would have made much more money if I rested, woke up energized, and focused on the sales sitting right in front of me. Because this client is right now booking amazing meetings with people in his ICP and in his company. And his number one thing that he should do is just get on the call with those people and convert those people. Everything else is just a loss of focus. So the networking events, the making offer documents, the setting up funnels and websites, that's a waste of time for him. And that's a small example, but it plays out every single week for most of us. It happens with every single one of us. We don't ask ourselves what's worth spending my time and my focus on. We think that time and focus are extremely abundant, so we start spending it on the wrong thing. And the worst part about it is that you don't know you're doing the wrong thing. You don't know you're doing the wrong thing. Here, this person, he didn't know that he was doing the wrong thing. In his mind, he's like, I'm gonna get deals out of it. You know that you're doing the wrong thing when it's too fucking late. You believe that you're doing the right thing. Look, be honest with me. It's just me and you right now, okay? How many times have you done something, you took some action, you were like, this is the best thing that I'm gonna ever do for my business? And then a couple of weeks later, you're like, I wish that I didn't even start. Maybe it was a new offer, maybe it was a new app that you were building with AI and Lovable. Maybe it was this new thing that you were gonna present to clients. Whatever it is. How many times? Be honest. I know that I've done that like a billion times. So I'm not someone to speak about this. If you think you're making the right decision, you stop questioning the decision. And if you stop questioning the decision, you don't seek outside perspective. And if you don't have outside data, your decisions are just biased guesses dressed up as strategy. So you're running your business based on things that you think are the right thing that you need to be doing. Yep. When I say it loudly, it's pretty bad, isn't it? I have a friend who spends, actually this is like, if you're watching this, man, I love you, just know that. But I have to call you out of love. I have a friend who spent weeks fixing his calendar, apps, structures and systems, Notion calendar, apps that you can speak to them by voice note and they will structure your calendar, AI stuff. And then we went on a call together. We catch up frequently and I asked him like, did this move your revenue? Did you move the revenue within your company? He's right now making a decent amount of money and he's scaling. And he said, no, but it's preparing me to. And a couple of weeks later, we caught up again. Same conversations, same result. Did this move your revenue? No, but this is preparing me to. The revenue didn't move because he was optimizing for the feeling of productivity, not actual productivity. And that's the old way, and that's how most solopreneurs are living right now. Please understand this. You're treating your time as it's something that you can experiment with, waste, mess around, without really understanding that all that you're doing is just getting a small dopamine hit of success because you feel that you're doing something. You feel that by structuring the apps, by fixing your calendar, by building a new back end, by whatever it is, you're moving forward, where in reality, you're just feeling productive, but not actually being productive. Do you want me to repeat it? No. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But please keep in mind, everything that I'm talking about over here is just personal examples. I've done every single thing that I write, I've done it 1,000,000 times. I spent weeks and months optimizing for the wrong things within my businesses. And this is why in 2022, I was broke. I made money, spent money, made money, wasted money, made money, kept on being broke. And this is why we have the results that we have right now. Not because I'm smarter than anyone in the world. It's because I just learned what to focus on. So, what's worth spending your time and your focus on? What is the 4-hour scaling model and how does it work? Well, stage 1. It starts with a constraint. This constraint, I learned it from a guy, his name is Taki Moore. I think Taki Moore's business right now is making around $10 million a year. I don't know. If you know, drop it in the comments down below, but I think it's $10 million a year. He owns a coaching company. And he said it once and I never forgot it and I live with it till this day, which is, you are not available 24/7 for your business. There is a fixed window for your business and everything has to fit inside of it. If you look at your calendar and the first thing that you prioritize is your business rather than your life, you're losing. Because in Parkinson's law, the work expands to fill the time you give it. This is Parkinson's law. If you give something more time, you will put in less effort and it will take more time. If you give something less time, you will put more effort and it will take less time. This is why some people move faster than you move. And for you to be able to give yourself less time, you need to have other things in your life. So for me, I prioritize my travels, my wife and working out, my dogs. I have 3 dogs before the business. So I prioritize the 2 walks or 3 walks that sometimes I take with my dogs. I prioritize my daily workout. I prioritize my daily steps. I prioritize my meals. I prioritize scheduling my travels, everything before I prioritize the business. And then in the windows that are left on my calendar, I put my business tasks. This is how I'm able to actually work 4 hours to 5 hours a day max and get more things done. Because I shrink the time that I have available to do that thing within my business. So before we even touch the business, ask yourself, what is the life that you actually want to live? Map it out, engineer it, and then work backwards. Okay, once you put that, actually let's choose another color. Like red isn't even my favorite color. So once you ask yourself, what is the life that I want to actually live? And you put everything and you engineer it. By the way, like the people who work with me, we have something called lifestyle architecture. So this is like you literally architect the ideal life that you want to live and you start living it right now. Then you look at how much time do I have for the business? Let's say hypothetically every day you want to sleep 8 hours, you want to work out for 2 hours, you want to spend time with your family, with your kids, etc. for 5 hours. You look at what's left and then you look at your business in that window and you schedule everything just in that window. And if it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. Less time, more effort needed. Cool. And now you're gonna be like, yeah, Arnold, but I have too many things going on. Yeah, great. This is where we start to delete stuff. Plus, this is where you're gonna realize that the thing that usually used to take you weeks and months are now taking you days, hours. Here's an example. One second. Can you see me? Hey, how are you? This YouTube video that I'm shooting right now, I tried to stay consistent with YouTube for a year and a half, approximately. I couldn't. Because every time I went to shoot a YouTube video, I used to waste time. I used to sit down, edit, over, fix the sound, fix the noise, fix whatever it is. And I used to try. And the YouTube video that should be uploaded on Tuesday, it was uploaded on Friday. And the YouTube video that should be shot on Monday, it was shot on Thursday. And then I did that. And I realized that I don't have any other time to do the YouTube video than Monday mornings. So here I am on a Monday morning doing this YouTube video because I know that if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it the entire week and the entire business will stop because of that. That's how you get yourself to do things. But now the question becomes, if I have a very limited window of action, what should I choose? What should I do? This is stage number 2. Now the question becomes, what is the one thing that if I focused on this week, the business will move forward exponentially? And this thing changes week after week, which is why we analyze the business every single week. Actually, let me show you something. Claude. Yep. Here is Mrs. Claude. So this is an example of the revenue game plan. This is a tool that I built for my clients and for myself initially, and then I gave it to clients. And you can find it down below, which is literally, it asks you every single question and it analyzes your business and your identity and it tells you exactly what you need to focus on. Now, I ran a sample just to show you like how it looks like. And look at how many questions it asked me. Look at how many questions it asked me. It analyzed everything. And then it was like, okay, Arnold, you want to hit $30,000 a month. You need 4 clients. To get 4 clients, you need 7 warm leads a week. Now, again, keep in mind, I just uploaded random numbers. You would upload your actual data. And it told me the exact thing that I'm stuck on, which is the biggest constraint, that if I focus on, everything will move forward. And then it tells me from Monday to Sunday, exactly focus on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you could fix this one thing that you are stuck on. Now, this is a sample that I showed you, but this is something that I actually do every single week. I look at where am I stuck? Am I stuck in my identity somewhere? Or am I stuck in my operations? The example that I showed you, we're stuck at operations, we're stuck with conversions. But a lot of times, a lot of the people that I work with are stuck on their identity too. By the way, if you want to get the game plan tool, there's a link down below. I'm going to leave it for you so you can get it. You can analyze and audit your own business and get the thing that you need to do. So you could scale by doing less, pretty much. We have a limited amount of time, a small window to achieve something. The most important thing to ask ourselves is, in this small window, what do I need to schedule in? And the best way to know it is to understand the biggest bottlenecks within your business, to analyze your business, everything, and understand the one thing that if you move this week, everything else becomes much easier. I didn't make that up. We have books written about this. The 80-20 rule, the goal. There's another book. I forgot the other book. Books written by industry leaders about this principle, about finding the one thing that you're stuck on and fixing it, and only focusing on it. So that's stage 2. Stage number 3. The scaling levers. Again, we go back to the core question. What is worth spending my time and my focus on? Well, first things first, let's put very clear constraints that we cannot break. Then, let's choose the one big thing that if I focus on, everything will get fixed. But from there, we need routines. I call them hygiene tasks or scaling levers, depending on the level of the people that I'm working with. If I'm working with people at 5 or 6 figures, I call them hygiene tasks. If I'm working with people at 7 figures, I call them scaling levers. But scaling levers are basically, actually, before I tell you, let's go through this. Think of this like a workout routine, okay? Every week, there's one exercise that you need to fix and you need to improve. One thing. But outside of this one thing, there's a routine that doesn't change. That's what I mean by hygiene tasks or scaling levers. Those are the non-negotiables for your business. The things that if you do them every single week, without fail, the business will compound. That's what I mean with the scaling levers. Just imagine with me, the scaling levers are just like the routine that you need to go through consistently every single week to get predictable results. One of my favorite quotes in the world is this: everyone wants predictable results, but none are willing to take predictable action. So for me, I have 3 scaling levers that I take predictable action on. 1 YouTube video per week, which is this, daily content and reels written from this YouTube video, and 1 email campaign per week. If I do those routinely, like a hygiene routine, just like you shower every single day, hopefully you're showering every single day, my friend. Hopefully. Just like you shower every single week, just like you do your routines, you brush your teeth, this is something that you do every single week within your business. No matter what is the big thing that you're focusing on. And every single week, if I pull those 3 levers, the business moves. Guarantees. Guaranteed, that's what I mean. And here's what matters. I didn't choose those because some guru told me to choose them. Even though I did. In the past, I used to listen to every single person's opinion about my business, and I was like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. No. The only way I was able to stick to my scaling levers was when I understood my personality, my strength, my natural points of leverage. I'm charismatic on camera. I can crack jokes. I'm not robotic. People connect with me on camera. This is why one of my big scaling levers is YouTube videos. If someone is not charismatic on camera, you cannot push them to do YouTube videos so they can do long form written articles. You need to engineer your business. This is your business, let's say hypothetically. The business is a result of the person running it, not the other way around. You engineer your business based on who you are, not the other way around. Okay? That's how we work with every single client. We don't hand you a model or say, follow this. It made me billions of dollars. Just copy me, copy my model. We analyze you. Like really, we have some of the most advanced. I'm going to show you something. This is from another video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Those are tools and resources to analyze you very deeply, to analyze your patterns, your mindset, your values, what's familiar to you. We psychoanalyze you. We have some of the most advanced analysis tools to understand who you are. Okay? Once you understand who you are, your weaknesses, your strength, your unique leverage points, we build your business based on those. We build the levers based on those. I have a client whose biggest levers is actually I hate cold DMing people. I hate cold DMing. I do not even think about cold DMing people, but I have a client who's so charismatic, who's so natural with people, who's so fun to be around, that one of his core levers is to cold DM people and just get them on meetings to sit down with him. Because we both know that if they sit down with him for at least 10 minutes, they'll fall in love with his personality. And it works every single time. He's booking 10 to 12 meetings every single week without a fail. So that's stage 3. To wrap it all up, this is how it looks like. What's worth spending my time and my focus on? I have limited amount of time, limited amount of focus. The first thing is, what are my boundaries? I'm going to put boundaries. I'm going to put the biggest priorities for me. What are the biggest priorities in my life and how much time does each one of them take? I'll schedule those in first. And then from there, I go to stage 2, which is analyzing the biggest thing that I need to focus on every single week, which again, like you could do it manually, but it's pretty hard. So I created the revenue game plan tool. You could just get it down below. And you schedule that in, and then in the leftover time, you schedule your hygiene routine or your scaling levers. If you do that every single week on Sunday, which takes you like literally, I don't know, like yesterday, let me show you. Okay, I didn't plan to do this, but I'm going to show you something to be very transparent with you. I don't know how many hundreds of people are going to be watching this, but this is my personal WhatsApp, okay? And I'm going to show you how I plan my week, literally, so you could see how simple it is once you understand those principles. Week, I want to drive people to the game plan tool. Awesome. Video for the game plan tool. Inviting people who bought other products of mine to test it. YouTube video, email, post, reel. And then what to add, the biggest constraint, positioning work to bridge people from my content to reaching out. That's it. How do I know? Because I analyzed my business and realized that there's the bridge between people seeing my content and reaching out is a bit weaker compared to other things in my business. I planned my week on WhatsApp because I had the revenue game plan tool. Because I analyzed my entire business early on and I realized what are my constraints. That's it. Now, I wish I could show you my actual revenue game plan tool, but this becomes too private because there are identity and personal things in it. Anyway, that's the video for today. Hopefully you got the benefit out of it. Hopefully you started to understand how do you manage your time as a proper CEO of someone who actually scales from 5 to 6 figures and from 6 to 7 figures with high margins by doing less. And please don't forget to drop a follow, drop a like if you like this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.